In today's video, we're going to be running through my team selection ahead of double game week 13 in EFL Fantasy, and of course giving you guys all the tips and data you need to make the best decisions this game week. Now, of course, if you do enjoy any of the EFL fantasy content on the channel, please make sure you are liking this video, of course hitting that subscribe button and letting me know in the comments as well, so we do keep these videos coming up for you guys as well. First off, let's take a look at how my team got on in double game week 12, and you know what? It was a really good week. Unfortunately, we got the captaincy pick wrong. Lewis Wing was the lowest scoring outfield player we had, but we still managed to accrue a really decent set of points. Of course, we picked up 89 points in the end. We ended, I think, on around about a 400 green arrow, taking us to 447. Again, probably one of the highest ranks we've had so far this season. So overall, a pretty decent week, but unfortunately, captaincy has been letting us down over the past few weeks as well. We're still playing with this back three, as I do believe it is probably the best way to approach the game. Defenders are broken. We covered this in the game week 11 team video, I think we did, where we obviously spoke about the fact that I think it was 9 out of the 15 players at the time were defenders, like the most scoring players were defenders from the game. So it does seem like they are a little bit broken in this game. Also, one of my followers on Twitter said that he built a team basically off ChatGPT, put all the data in, and the AI algorithm actually spat out that 3 at the back is the best way to go with this game. And I put it in myself. That's what it came up with. It said with the scoring metrics of this game, the AI thinks that the best way to play the game is with a 3 back, just because how well defenders are scoring and the points that they do have available. So potentially something for you to consider going forward. But overall, great week. We are continuing that kind of steady I would say, increase towards the top end of the best players within the game. And like I said, if you want to be part of that as well, make sure you are hitting that subscribe button, getting your comments in and liking for more EFL fantasy content. Right, let's move on over to the betting data. Of course, I do put this out on my Twitter, so make sure you are going and following me over on there as well. We do kind of a full breakdown of each league over there every single week as well. So make sure you are heading down in the description and following me on Twitter. But these are the top 5 teams for projected goals and clean sheet percentage just from the first games. Obviously, this is a double game week. Unfortunately, the betting data isn't available for those second games as well, so we can't actually kind of add the two. That would be really good going forward, but unfortunately that's just not the way that bookmakers release data. So just from the first games coming up for this weekend, Leeds United, as you can see, definitely need to be a team to target. They've also got Millwall away, which isn't the easiest fixture. Millwall have actually been quite good this season in terms of the championship, but still it is a double game week, and I feel you might as well go for Leeds players this week, and probably Leeds as a side as well. They're really fancied by the bookies to go and have an exceptional game against Plymouth Argyle as well. Projected goals 2.22. It is the highest we've seen so far in the EFL Fantasy when covering the betting data. So again, definitely looks like some Leeds attackers. A 53.5% chance of a clean sheet as well. It is the highest chance of a clean sheet across this weekend as well. So again, really good numbers there. They've also got some really interesting defender picks to obviously be going for. And then looking at everybody else on this list, they're kind of all very similarly kind of stacked together in terms of those projected goals and in terms of the clean sheet percentages as well. So it's kind of a little bit hard to kind of pick, and I do feel Sunderland are probably going to be a team we do look at as well. You know, decent fixtures across both the doubles, so they're definitely a team to consider as well. Borough as well, featuring on that projected goals list. Their defensive record has been a little bit unstable over the past few weeks. However, it does seem like they can continue to still score a lot of goals as well. Burnley, they're not scoring a lot, but they're also not conceding a lot. So again, could be a really good defense to obviously go and look to invest in this week. That was the projected data. Like I said, if you want to go and see more of this, head over to my Twitter and drop me a follow on there. But let's move on to my team selection ahead of double game week 13. Wasting no time, let's dive straight into my team selection. Starting off first with our goalkeeper, it is going to be Victor Johansson. Stoke have only managed to keep 3 clean sheets so far this season. However, this goalkeeper has been picking up ridiculous points across that period, mainly down to the amount of saves he's got. It's not a bad double coming up for Stoke as well. We saw them in the last section on the betting markets. Obviously, Derby at home is going to be the standout fixture there. If he could keep a clean sheet in that one, and then obviously make a few saves away at Blackburn, it could be a decent goalkeeper goalkeeper haul. But overall, I'm not really kind of scoring well with the goalkeepers. I'm not really picking the right ones. So I'm going to kind of go for a goalkeeper that's got an okay-ish set of fixtures, but has really, really decent save potential to maybe see if that's a way we can potentially accrue some more points out of this very, very hard position to get many points out of. Let's move on into the back line. Like I said, we are going to go with this back three yet again. It's been doing exceptionally well over the past few weeks and has led to me getting back-to-back green arrows. Interestingly, my dad has been implementing this for a few game weeks now and has absolutely flown up the rankings as well. I think he's around 250, maybe 270, somewhere around there. So he's even above me, and he's basically using this three at the back system to full effect. So it's definitely, you know, not just a one-off in terms of me. It's also working for him as well. And like I said, the ChatGPT AI as well, when it read all the rules through, was also suggesting that a three back is probably the best way to approach this game. So let's first off start off with our first defender. It is going to be the second highest scoring player in the game. It is Dennis Kirkin. Sunderland, 7 clean sheets so far this season in 12 games. Only 9 goals conceded as well. He is also a player that is very, very capable of picking up those attacking returns as well. Both QPR and Preston aren't famed this season for scoring a lot of goals either, so potentially could be back-to-back clean sheets with, of course, the assist potential and tackles and clearances and stuff like that. Again, makes complete sense to go and have him. Sturk's in here as well. Highest clean sheet percentage, we saw that in the last section, a 53.5% chance versus Plymouth as well. The Leeds also have the best XG conceded so far in the Championship as well. There's also a slight chance he still is on penalties. Obviously, he missed his last one, but I was speaking to a few Leeds fans at work, and they're not 100% sure who is actually going to take the next penalty, so it still could be Pascal Struijk. Obviously, they've got Joel Perreault as well, so it could be potentially him, but hopefully we get lucky and maybe he's still on penalties as well, but we'll have to wait and see on that one, so don't obviously bank on it for that reason, but he still is picking up exceptionally well points for tackles, blocks and all that good stuff. Next up is going to be Ben Cabango, again another player that Swansea aren't really keeping many clean sheets, but he's still picking up points. Over that period, they have kept 4 clean sheets and he's managed to concede 8 goals. But the reason we've gone for him is because he's a clearance merchant. 60 clearances so far for him. It's the most, I think, out of all defenders at Championship level. There does seem to be a little bit of a correlation between League 1, League 2 having more clearances with their defenders and obviously the Championship a little bit less. I think it's probably down to play style within these leagues. Obviously, you imagine as you get further up the pyramid, there is kind of players that can pass the ball out better rather than just hoofing it and getting points that way, but he's still doing pretty well and it's actually a pretty good double coming up for Swansea. Oxford away, not an easy place to go, but hopefully a couple clearances there, and then Watford at home seems like one of those fixtures where Swansea should be looking to keep a clean sheet. Let's move on into the midfield, and both of these picks don't really excite me, to be honest. The midfield was actually quite hard to pick from, to be honest. I wanted to go for Alfie Doherty, and I know a lot of people will have him in their sides, but just something to note, he is actually suspended for the Friday night game, so you're only going to get 1 game out of him, so do not go for him. Pick a double game week player. That goes for anyone as well that is potentially considering just having single game week players in your side. What are you doing? The biggest rank jumps I've had this season have been when it has been these double game weeks. Obviously trying to cram as many double game weeks of players in there. You get 2 rolls of the dice. What are you doing? Select double game week players. They will do you well over the course of the season. Maybe just one-off. Sometimes it might not work, but over a course of a season, those double game weeks definitely do add up. So Aronson's in here first. Again, I've just want a Leeds attacker in here because how high that projected goals is for that Plymouth game as well. He's actually started quite a few minutes over the past few weeks, only 4 attacking returns, but still could be a really, really decent punt over the next few. And like I said, with those decent projected goals we are seeing coming up for Leeds United in the first game, it does make complete sense to me. Then we've got Finn Azaz. Again, Borough, they were up there for projected goals, 1.54. QPR away as well in the second game. It's all right. It's not bad. Again, 5 attacking returns for him. Borough have been quite attacking, but just seem to be a little bit sloppy at the back. And overall, every time I've gone for a Borough player, or of course Borough themselves, they have massively let me down. So that's a little bit frustrating. And then finishing up front is going to be Sainz. I don't think this one probably needs any explanation. The highest scored forward within the game, 10 goals, 2 assists in 12 games. And I do feel the reason I've selected him as the captain is because he does have the highest upside for me personally within all the players out of everybody there. I don't think the midfielders, I think they're more a gamble and I don't really expect too much out of them. The defenders, yes, could do exceptionally well and we might still just give it to Kirkin and hope for some pretty steady points. But I do feel if we are going to potentially try and get within that top run 100 or even maybe try and win this game, we do need to go for the picks that have the biggest upside in terms of captaincy, and Sainz definitely feels like one of those players. The only concern I do have is the fact that 0.91 is the projected goals for the game against Cardiff, which does seem exceptionally low, and that is a little bit frustrating, a little bit worrying, so maybe is potentially putting me off him, but I think a lot of people are going to go for him, and a lot of people are going to captain him this week, and it does make sense to me, like I said, with that explosive record him and Norwich have got as well. Finishing up, taking a look at our two teams, it is going to be Leeds and Sunderland. I feel like they both have pretty much the best set of fixtures coming up. Again, using ChatGPT, it also fancied these two teams to go and pick up the most points this game week, so again, a little bit further in kind of security, I would say, around it. Also, both teams have high percentage win chances for the first game as well from the betting markets. That was my team selection ahead of double game week 13. Let me know what you think of it down in the comment section below. If you've got any questions about your team as well, get them in, as we will try to answer as many questions as we possibly can. But thank you very much for watching today, ladies and gentlemen, and good luck in double game week 13.